into first offenders, second offenders, recidivists, classified into very hardened criminals, armed robbers, murderers, classified into as we have them. Were not for this Justice for All program, we had to transfer prisoners out of Nsawam to put in remand prisoners when James Fort actually collapsed. Over 1,000 prisoners were transferred from James Fort to that place. And that was a huge problem for the prison service. So the country over, it's not all of them that are very congested. Some are settlement camps. And they can also receive prisoners who have, like, with first degree felony, second degree, and all that kind of thing. They are just people, petty crimes, to be reformed through farming. So we can't transfer somebody who is an armed robber to maybe one of our settlement camps. So we might find settlement camps not congested, but you can't transfer people. So most of the central prisons, which are holding centers where we have courts, circuit courts, high courts around, and they cannot be transferred to other areas because their cases are not so determined. Their remands, they cause the bulk of the congestion we have in our prisons. So the picture is that we have not expanded our prisons as we have increased in population.
So, but when you talk about congestion, then so too many people in the prisons, and so what?
Yeah, so it means that there's a lot you can do. One, it comes with problems with their health. And two, if I am supposed to reform you in the area of, let's say psychotherapy, somebody needs psychosocial counseling, and we are aware that sometimes it's supposed to be one-on-one for a very long time. The people are many. You'll be compelled to group them and give them that kind of counseling. How effective is that going to be? If your case is about a drug, his is anger, his is alcohol, you need to have one-on-one with them. You have to put them together. It means that you're dealing with the issues in general terms. And the effect might not be felt so much than if the numbers are less and then the officers in charge can take them on case-by-case basis.
And so we also talked about reintegrating such persons back into society. What program do you have for that?
Yes. Our core mandate actually is the safe custody, welfare, reformation, and rehabilitation of the inmates. But resettlement and reintegration is not something we are mandated to do. Another body is supposed to take care of that. I don't know which body that is. And that is very key. That is very important. That seems to be a gap that is neglected. Resettling and reintegrating prisoners. We might set you up. We might tell you that when you go back home, you are supposed to face this. You can get this and that. But you get back to the house, as my Lord put it, you are not welcome even by your own family. Even while they are in prison, some families don't come to visit them. Because in Ghana, people believe in the family name so much. Maybe the culture, our culture is also a part. Culturally, people believe that my name reigns supreme. If you go and mention some names, you get immediate employment. And much the same way, if you drag that name into mud, people shun you. They don't want you to be close to them. So as soon as you offend, the tendency that they should leave you to have your own, to be in your own world. That is very unfortunate. That is not helping the reintegration aspect of the prisons, which we have to look at again. Because people who come in, they need support from every angle. We have pastors, we have imams, we have psychologists. But the family, immediate family, is very key in this. Because if you don't come to visit him, he comes out and then he's tagged, he's stigmatized. It means the environment, the community, will see him as such. He's not welcome. What does he do? He'll have to go back to prisons.
Right. Your Lordship, yes. So we've looked at all the problems that come with congestion, but let's also look at the root cause. Some have argued that the judiciary is very much inaccessible to many of the ordinary people out there. You go to the district level, the very local communities, people feel the need for justice, but they think that justice is too far away for them to access. How accessible is our judiciary?
Thank you very much for this question. This question of access to justice is very, very, very important to Revolution, the Chief Justice. And since she took over as head of the judiciary, she has done a lot for everybody to have access to the courts, or access to justice. A lot of, especially at the district level, we all know that under the District Assemblies Act, or the Local Government Act, it is the district assemblies that must build district courts. They build the courts and then they hand them over to us for management. Some assemblies are doing very well, others are not doing well. For example, since 2012, the number of districts have increased. We are all aware. We are all aware they have increased. Some districts so far have been able to establish a district court. Others to date have been unable to do that. The Chief Justice is always ready to welcome any district that is ready for a district court to be opened at the doorstep of the people. I will give you an example of myself. I preside in the Court of Appeal in Cape Coast. You know, Court of Appeal was opened in Cape Coast. And other places, you know, Kumasi, Cape Coast, Koforidua, Tamale, the Court of Appeal sits there. And Court of Appeal has now been brought to the doorstep of the people, so that there will be no need for anybody to travel all the way from Seshui to come to Accra to access the Court of Appeal. No. Now the person can just travel from Seshui to Cape Coast, and then we'll have a Court of Appeal dealing with their cases. So much has been done. Much has been done to enable the populace have access to justice, or have justice at their doorstep. District courts, the same, circuit court, and as at now, in the past we used to have problems with that is the magistrates. You know, that's why this career magistrates program was introduced. We were not getting the professionals to actually man the district courts, but with improved conditions and other facilities, now we have a lot of professionals, that is, those who are lawyers and qualified to be appointed as magistrates. As I speak, even tomorrow, we're going to have examinations for some of them and if they pass, they will join the service. So for access to justice, I think the much has been done by the judicial service to enable the populace to have justice at their doorstep.
Even those who are able to somewhat access the courts end up complaining about delays.
Well, the service being a human institution, you cannot rule out. We cannot be perfect. All efforts have been done to stop this question of delay that people are complaining about. A lot of training has been given to a lot of judges and magistrates to enable them control their courts, to be able to do their cases on time, deliver their judgments on time. And I think a lot has been done. And, well, as I said, it's a human institution. Definitely, we cannot be 100% sure that everybody will do the right thing. Yes. So, much has been done. Much has been done.
Right. So, what's your take on access to justice?
I think much is being done, but there is still room for improvement. Like my Lord rightly said, since her leadership, the Chief Justice, took over, I'm a user of the court because of the human rights cases. So I can see and I can tell for a fact that there has been several courts, that the divisional courts, making the court accessible for people. Now we have the lands court, we didn't have that. We have the commercial court, we didn't have that. We have the human rights court, and these are all high courts. But the judiciary is trying to break them for people to be able to access them easily. And now, as we're talking, my Lord, it seems we have about 40-something court complex that is being 42 court complex that is being built, still making things accessible for people to be able to get through all these things. But the biggest challenge is not accessing the court as in somebody going to court, but accessing legal aid. That is the question. As a human rights advocate, that is my issue. The first point of the problem start with the arrest, the police. They can charge somebody for treason. They can charge somebody for narcotics. They can charge somebody for murder. Do the facts buttress the charge? That is number one. So we need to build the capacity of the prosecutors, which most of them are police. So that is one of the problems. Then whilst building their capacity to get the right charges, the right cases and the investigations done, talk about the lawyers. You arrest somebody at Nkwanta and he does not have any lawyer. He is being taken to court, he's been remanded, taken to court, remanded. If there were to be a lawyer, that lawyer will try and fast track it and make sure that the case is being heard. But we don't have them. The legal aid as we have now, it's like a toothless bulldog because they are not resourced. We all know they are not resourced. And even with my organization as Sports Foundation, sometimes people will want to refer cases to us than legal aid. You know why? They don't have the human capacity. And so when a case is referred to a lawyer, that is what the best they can do. Even making a follow-up becomes difficult. So if the lawyer is doing pro bono, okay, and you've given him such a matter, a case that is not going to be paid for, and you are not making follow-ups, you see how it goes. So we are still talking it over with legal aid. They are doing their best. But in our case, if you are able to get paralegals to look at the person who has been arrested, they file things for the person, they do some small investigation, and they give it to a competent lawyer. The lawyer will be ready to push it at the law court. But if you want the lawyer to do all the nitty-gritties and the filing and the writing, sometimes with their own money because legal aid don't have the money, then they are not going to continue the matter. So we think that several factors contribute to the plight, the abuse of the remand prisoner in the prisons. And the last people you can blame are the prison officers, because they are custodians. Like you want to go somewhere, you say, take care of my daughter. They take care of your daughter. When you come and pick your daughter. It's as simple as that. So we have to look at AG, look at the judiciary, like you said, the delays sometimes, and then those courts, magistrates courts, who judges who keep on remanding people on bailable offenses. These are all the issues, and it is clear for us to see. That is why I'm happy that holistically these four bodies over the past 2 years are critically looking at this. Not only we all agree that the Justice for All is a bit of an ad hoc way of solving the problem. So we are not just looking at the Justice for All program, but I think they are approaching it from a holistic way, from judiciary, the Attorney General, and the police. But I will say that the police is an institution that should critically be looked at, because most of this blame falls at their doorstep. Not that they are not good, but at least if they are built in terms of capacity, things will be more better than we are seeing today.
Yes, and as we begin to wrap up on our conversation, and because you have direct contact with some of these people and having heard some of their stories, what kind of suggestions would you make to the Justice for All campaigners, for them to be able to get to everybody who has not received justice, so to speak?
I would say that they also need some more money to do their work. If you look at, for about the 7 years they've been operating, it's in the southern sector of this country. They operated within Accra, Western, Central, Eastern, and Bongahaf, Ashanti. They haven't gone up to the north yet. And prisoners who are up north, when they hear of these things, they are hopeful that one day it will be their turn. In fact, every prisoner wants his freedom. Freedom is key to them. Every prisoner. So I will urge them to get more funding and come into, make this thing a national event. It shouldn't just be maybe at the close of the judicial year. In fact, this year they've done very well, very, very well. For the past years, we see them at the close of the year, and then that ends. And I believe it's because of funding. We will always ask for more, and we appreciate what they are doing. Because, to be frank with you, we are the ones who face these remand prisoners on a daily basis. They know that it is not our fault that they are in there, but they see and they vent their frustration on you. I am here. You are the one holding the key. Open me, let me go, which we cannot do. And they are human beings.
Yeah.
The fact that you know what to do and you can't do it is some pain you feel in yourself as a human being. So, on a much bigger and brighter note, I think they're doing a good job, and I'll urge the powers that be to continue to help them, give them more funding, to get around the entire country and help more prisoners get out of prison.
Right, I'll give the last word to His Lordship, but before His Lordship, I'll give you the last word. But before we come to you, let me go to Mr. Jose Uzu for his closing remarks.
Just a quick one, my brother. We thank you too for the good work you're doing. And like my senior said, he said funding. Let's just mention that Star Ghana was the funded our project, Access to Justice. Star Ghana funded it, and so if next year they are going to be charitable, or they are going to see the good work that has been done, and they will fund us again, then we can make it. This year was national, and the first time it has been very national. So we can go beyond and periodically, within next year, go through all the prisons and then give these smiles on the face of people. Because if the man in Koforidua who went to a funeral and took some wine and then was drunk, went to pick his baby to go and give it to the wife, and the baby was, because the baby was crying, fell from the staircase, rolled with the baby, and the baby died, but has been charged for murder and has been inside for 4 years. If you were there to see this smile and the smile on the face of this man, you'll be happy that the program has been successful. If my Lord gives the statistics, you know that such a person will always pray that a program of the sort will come to their doorstep. By taking court to the prison is an example for most West African countries, and they want to learn from that. So it's a very good initiative, and I thank you.
Election?
Yes, thank you very much. I am happy. My brother DSP has said that we should try and extend the Just For All to the north. Yes, we have programs. As I'm the head of the National Task Force. Yes, on this remand prisoners project. We have plans to go up north. Actually, we have been, as indicated, we have been to the western, eastern, Ashanti, Brongahafo, in Sawam. As for Sawam, it's uncountable. We have been there several times. We have plans to go to Akuse, we go to Ho, go to Tamale, go to Bolga, and also go to Wa. In fact, God willing, next year, with the support of Post Foundation and others who have been very helpful to us. They funded the programs so well that we had no cause to complain. Ours was just work. And as a result, I'll give you the figures, the national figures so far since the inception of this program. We have discharged 540 people. We have granted bail to 548, and we have convicted 44. So the total number so far is 2,000, which we have dealt with, is 2,154. So, as indicated, the prisoners are actually, when we get to their doorstep, that is the prisoners to sit, they are also anxious. And if you discharge them, we ourselves as judges are really happy, and because some of the cases are just, it's just appalling. We ourselves are happy when we discharge them, because we know that we are helping our fellow human beings to ensure that their rights are no longer infringed in prison.
And thank you very much. We've been talking about the Justice for All campaign, and I do hope that if you know anyone who has been remanded unduly, you can approach. So is there any number, any contact that if we have cases we can report
they
to?
should just Google Post Foundation or Facebook Post Foundation. They'll get all our details there. POS Foundation.
And so if I know of anyone at all who's been remanded unduly, and as your Lordship put it, unreasonably, we can approach you, and you take the matter up. Thank you very much. Those who've been watching and listening to tonight are His Lordship, Justice Clemens Nuga. He is a justice of the Court of Appeal. Thank you very much, Your Lordship, for coming. Next to him is Mr. Jonathan Osewusu, who is the Executive Director of POS Foundation. Mr. Osu, thank you very much. And finally, we'd like to thank Mr. DSP Vitalis Ayer. He is the Chief Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Prison Service. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. And most especially, thanks to you for watching. And don't just watch and say that was a good show. Watch and make a move. If you know anyone who is unreasonably being held behind any bars, please let us know, and we'll take the matter up. Good night, and see you tomorrow, God willing.